Welcome back to Vegas Live with Ninon. Yes, I'm Ninon, your host, and you know exactly where I'm. I'm down here at the Peppermill in Las Vegas. Absolutely amazing. I have Tonya, Todd, TT. And what was funny, because I just happened to turn around and say to her, "Oh, so you're TT," and she then gave the explanation that in her language, her nephews and nieces call you that because that means
Tia
aunt.
Tonya.
Tia Tonya. Yeah, the TT. Tonya is she's a writer, she's an actress, and plus whatever else. I'm quite sure there's a few things there. How you doing?
I'm doing wonderfully.
Good.
I'm glad we finally got to do this. We were scheduled for earlier this year, but we know how that went.
Yeah, it all kind of went crazy, didn't it?
Yeah.
How's it affected? Doesn't look as if it affected you.
It did.
It did?
Going into the beginning of March, I had so many things on my plate. I was set to star in a feature film. I was starring as Cleopatra, debuting Caesar and Cleopatra here in town.
Oh my goodness.
And I was going to be the MC for a writing conference that was happening in a few weeks. And in a matter of just a week or so, everything was shut down.
A matter of a day.
Actually, it was the day that we were set to do the play, the Ides of March, is when that was shut down. And then within that week, everything was done.
So you were doing a play, which means you do theatre.
Yes.
Well, theatre is one of the greatest things you can actually do to have in the background as becoming an actress.
Right.
Because you learn how to, I don't know why you have to learn theatre to help you with the acting, but I guess
it helps you learn to listen to your partner, because it's not going to be the same performance every time.
No.
And if you have someone who's on set with you and they miss a line or they tweak something, it helps you learn how to just keep going.
Yeah, and I've always, because I've never been afraid of that, because I have to keep going.
Right, you're live.
I have to keep going regardless. So whatever anybody says, I'm prepared to, or even if they don't talk, I'm prepared to jump in. And because I did a children's, a teenage show, I did it for 16 years, and a lot of the kids, you ask them a question in silence. So I always learned to jump right back in again or ask somebody else.
Keep it moving.
You have to keep it moving. And that's more so on radio. On television and things, you get away with it because some people think, well, that's the line, that's how it's supposed to be.
Or you get their face.
Yeah, you get something happening, but on radio you can't do that. Yeah, on radio it's like boom, and they have no idea what's going on. You're also a writer. What made you start writing, or was it something from the childhood?
I used to write when I was a child, but it wasn't something I aspired to do when I was a grown up. I wasn't going to be a writer. I didn't think someone like me could do something like that. There weren't a whole lot of black writers when I was a child, or at least
I never think of things like that.
Not that people would know about, not that anybody knew, not famous ones.
But don't you think that in I'm going to say this, in any color you are, don't you feel that you should try to promote yourself and push yourself out there? Because that's really what it is. It's not relying on...
There are some communities that, as a whole, are told, not you, though. I mean, you're right that everyone should, but there are some communities that are just told, yeah, but not you. Right, but not you. You're the side character.
But you're a writer. Oh, I don't get the whole thing. I never have got all this whole... I've never understood it, put it that way, because I'm not that type. So
I grew up without characters who looked like me in books. None of the stories were ever about anybody who looked like me. And what that does, I mean, in movies too, what that does is that tells a child that you're not the star. You're never going to be the star. You might be a friend of the main person, but you're really just there to serve their story.
So you we're going on a different tangent, but you kind of went through that growing up then.
Yes, very much so. And so now I write stories for myself.
You write the stories on how you were, not how you were brought up, but how upbringing was for you in the environment you were in. Was it
not necessarily? I'm not writing about myself.
No, you're right, but I mean about the incidences and what happened in that area and how
it's always going to feed you. It's going to feed whatever you write about.
Yes,
and that's going to be true for anybody.
Yes, whatever you are. Yes, your experiences are, and that creates something else. Because I'm a sonnet writer. I'm a sonnet writer, and I write because I always think of Shakespeare, because Shakespeare was the first one. And so he was the one that had this out there. So therefore, I went on his avenue, and I thought, it's got to be 3 paragraphs, it's got to be this, it's got to be that. So I had kind of the groundwork done, and then you put that in there, what you feel, which is feelings of yourself, because that's all you can write about.
Exactly.
You can't write about somebody else. So have you got anything out there that's published? I hope, by now.
I do have a few short stories published, and just recently during lockdown that the play was shut down.
Yeah.
Now what we're going to do is live stream it. We're going to film it and then stream it with the cast there so people can talk to the cast afterward, because it's not safe to have a performance with a bunch of people in the theater. So
why do you think it's not safe to have a bunch of people in a theater when we're having all these marches and all these things going on?
I don't necessarily know that is safe.
Well, I know it's not safe. Well, obviously it's not safe, but then they're pretending it is safe. They're saying none of them got it, none of them got the virus, and I don't know
that we can say that definitively.
I don't think you could say that at all. I mean,
but we are not clear to have a show with an audience.
No.
So because we're bound by that, we're going to perform in an environment that is
you're using
safe.
the internet for that?
Yes.
So the internet's become your main tool?
Well, yeah. I mean, between Zoom rehearsals and
hey, Zoom's getting an awful lot of publicity today. You better start paying me for all this. I'm giving you a lot of publicity. Zoom.
We did the writing conference over Zoom. We ended up doing the entire conference over Zoom. We transitioned.
Why are we using Zoom when there are other entities out there to use or other platforms to use?
They made it very easy. That's why. They made it so simple to use that why would you use
See, I agree with you because I've used Zoom myself, and the only reason I use Zoom is it's easy.
Right. I mean,
you can even have your own background. You can have their background. Yes. You can choose.
They made it easy for anyone to use rather than it being something that's too complicated for people who maybe don't want to learn something new.
So as much as we are all locked down and we're all told to sit back and stay in our homes and do that, we found a way out, or you've definitely found a way out, and it's Zoom. We found a way out through the internet.
Right.
Now, this has been coming down the pipeline for a long time of getting people more involved in the internet. It's like paying your bills in the internet. It's like doing everything on the internet.
Almost everything is virtual.
Everything. Yes, everything. Do you like that? As an actor?
I do in some regards. Like, I'm the kind of person who hates to go shopping.
So I am.
I am happy to have it shipped to my house.
Okay.
That takes that inconvenience out of
your life. You don't have to get the car and get ready and get dressed and do the whole thing.
But I don't think that a live performance will have the same power as when you have an audience right there and you can feed off that energy and you can hear their gasp.
Yes, you've got them checking and they've got clapping.
There's an energy in the room that you're not going to get if it's only
But do you feel with the younger generation right now, that's been going on for some years, everything is the phone, the computer, the phone, the iPad, all these different things,
they don't know what they're missing.
Well, if you don't have it, you don't miss it.
Right.
Same old story, you know.
Do you know? Well, maybe you do. I don't know.
What is it?
Very rude question.
No, you can ask me a very rude question.
There are people who didn't have microwaves, who didn't have that convenience. And
wait a second.
Cannot imagine
when I was growing up, I did not have a microwave. I didn't even have a fridge. And I think eventually we got a phone.
So this is what I'm saying. So that, we're just used to always having the phone available. We're used to having the internet available.
Yes.
You don't have that loss of interaction if you never had it to begin with.
That's what I'm saying. If you've never had it and experienced it, the younger generation have grasped onto this.
Right.
And this is what they know. So what I'm looking at is that we're now evolved, all of us now, of learning what this is. I mean, most adults have learned through their kids.
Yeah.
My nephew was the one that bought me a computer. He bought me the whole thing. I all arrived at my home. I said, I'm never going to use a computer, ever. Well, guess what?
Yeah.
Yes, guess what?
You had to keep moving, right?
If I want to keep up with the world and be part of the world, yes. Right. But for your acting, you can still do your acting, though.
I shot 3 things during quarantine from home.
Did you enjoy it? Were you able to get out the energy you would have got out on stage or on set?
There are pros and cons. Like, one of the things I miss most is a makeup artist and a hairstylist.
That's a typical woman.
I'm not good at those things. I'm not good at putting on makeup.
Well, you look pretty good now. So
did
someone prepare you?
I appreciate that. Did my mother pay you for that? No, I'm not very skilled in that area. So having someone where okay, I don't have to stress on this. I can just think about my performance. I don't have to worry about whether my hair is out of place.
Yes.
No one's watching you.
No.
there's a lot less direction when you're filming it yourself, and you're hoping you're getting it the way the director's vision was.
Now, when you do film yourself, do you have the director on another line or somewhere where
No.
You don't? So
I did for one of the projects.
Okay, so you have to really know before you get on that set.
I had 2 people who just trusted me to handle it.
Nice.
Right. And I told them, if you need me to do it again, I will.
Yes.
They didn't.
They didn't ask you to
They
do
said
it
they
again.
liked what I said.
What was that? What was that?
One of those was just a very small part in a feature film that's coming out later this year.
What's the name of the film?
The Year of Laughing Dangerously.
Well, that's definitely now.
Yes.
Apropos.
That filming was shut down that same week. That that everything happened. And so they decided, rather than make this scene something that was performed live, because I'm the host for an award show.
Oh, so that was
so
really
they made it. They worked the quarantine into the script and said, okay, you're going to do this from home. And so I am the host.
So you are the host
on the screen hosting this. The way they did it was hilarious.
And you felt good about it.
Yeah, I did. I thought this is very silly.
The reason I'm getting this all out of you, Tonya, is because people out there, because our show, we promote people, entertainment, we film people, entertainment, musicians. This is what we do. This is what we promote. So coming from you that have actually done it, will teach other people out there saying, well, no, I can't do it. No, I'm feeling all sorry for yourself.
You can. It's going to be different, but you can do it. And if you can just find a way to make it work in whatever way is best for you, you're going to thrive. But you will have to change. I mean, that's the thing. You have to change what you're used to.
Aren't the younger people prepared for that? They're all prepared for the older people, it's hard to change them. But for the younger generation, is it easier? Whether you don't know.
I think it's a matter of personality. I don't think it's a matter of age.
Well, you wouldn't know because you're not older and you don't know how it is. So I think they automatically, find a way around it, like you found a way around it.
Right.
So you still did your projects that you had to do. You've done them all, or?
Well, the feature film that I was set to star in, that was completely set aside because, people needed to travel into town, and we're up and down here. We never know.
Has it been filmed in Vegas?
Yes.
Okay.
So, but not everyone in the cast is from Vegas. And not everyone in the crew is from Vegas. And so that writer and director was really bummed, and what I said to her is, well, why don't you make something cool that can be shot at home? And she said, okay, you're writing it with me.
Oh, that's cool.
And so we did. We wrote a short film together, and we filmed it, we cast it, and we put all the pieces together, and now we have it in editing right now.
And what's the name of that?
New Normal.
New Normal, okay. And when do you think it's going to... Because we can publicize it right now.
It's going to come out later this year, but we are going to run the circuit with the film festivals.
You're going to run the circuit. When does that start? So obviously it's probably ready.
I don't know. That's my
another thing. No, that's another thing. Are they going to have those?
Are they going to have them in person, or are they going to be virtual?
Oh, I think they're going to be virtual. I would say. In fact, my producer, I think, just did something. He just won an award from a presentation, whatever it was, in Spain. I don't know the details of it, but he just won something in Spain, and I think it's amazing. So now, whether he can go there or not is another thing.
Right.
But that was all done virtual.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, and he won it, and he was, but that's how it is these days.
I think there are going to be a lot of virtual films.
But I think the virtual thing
festival,
I think it's going to be a new norm.
Right, that's why it's called the New Normal.
And you picked up everything that was going on right now in Vegas and put it all together. What in the film business?
We wrote it in a matter of a couple of days, fine-tuned it, got it cast, and... So
what's your next challenge?
My next challenge is performing Cleopatra without the aid of an audience to ooh and ah over my performance, because she is very grand and needs that.
Yes, she comes out with this, she's got this beautiful regal way about her. So Cleopatra is, Elizabeth Taylor did Cleopatra, didn't she? Wow.
And she was a force.
She was.
And I've had to live with this character for months. They get inside of you, and they're so, she is so emotional and passionate, and it's just, I was really hoping to maybe not feel everything quite so much all the time once I was done playing her.
Go for it.
I'm not done.
Go for it. Go for it. You know, I always say, if you've got something, go for it 100%. Put your 100%.
That's the way she was.
And, she was that way in life.
Right.
And that's what
you do. For someone of her gender and her age to be as powerful as she was, she went for it.
She did. She really did. But nothing would let her down. And I think that's how you have to be, because you're only you. This is all you have.
Right.
So, kind of deal with it. Either you're going to fail, you're going to fall, or you're going to rise and go ahead.
And she definitely rose.
Definitely.
And went out her own way.
She did. So that's been put on side. That probably won't start till next year.
No, we're going to film that at the end of the month, and that's what we're going to stream for everyone to see.
I think that's amazing. Now, you're writing, obviously you just wrote this other film or play. What would you call it?
It's a short film.
It's a short film.
I usually write fiction, like novels and short stories.
Yes.
And one of the things I did during quarantine is I converted my unpublished manuscript into a feature film screenplay. So now I have that version of it as well. And people keep pushing me toward, why don't you just produce it and direct it?
No. Don't listen to other people.
Baby steps, okay?
You do. They always say if you have a great foundation, you have to build your foundation. Has to be very strong. And if it's not, it's going to crack and fall away. Okay? So you've got to do and I think what you're doing is absolutely perfect, because you know how far you can go. You know what you can do.
And once I accomplish that, then I'll move on to the next level.
Then you move on. What's it like being a producer and behind the scenes as a young woman?
It's hard because, people make presumptions based on age or based on just the way you look.
Just based on anything.
Right.
It's like, they'll find something.
But it's also fun to be a decision maker and to know that this is the way I want it to be.
Isn't that nice?
Yes. I mean, it's not a power trip, but it's empowering.
Well, because you've seen the vision. You've probably had the vision for a long time. Mm-hmm. And now you're seeing it out there and you think, wow, this is what I thought of. This is what I wrote. This is what I did. I put it together. Well, like this short you just wrote that's out there.
It's like, well, I did a thing,
You just did a thing. And there's so much competition out there. But I don't know if there's as much competition out there because it's going on all the internet now.
Right.
Now you're writing and acting for a different way, and not everybody can do that. As a talk show host, I do it because I just do what I do.
Right.
Because you get used to doing what you do, and you look at it. So I hate looking at my own stuff anyway. I hate it. Do you?
I do too. I don't like the sound of my voice.
Why did I say that? Why did I do this? And
why does my mouth move that way?
I'm going to change it. Right. And you aren't, because this is what you're used to.
Right.
Okay, Tonya, how can anybody reach you? Do you have a school or anything? You do anything? Do you teach anybody or do anything like that?
I'm the education chair for Henderson Writers Group, so you can find me at those meetings. I'm the person who hosts all of the Wednesday meetings. We do a book club. If you're interested in writing, that's the place where you want to connect with me. I have a website. It's www.miztonyatodd.com, and that's MS, not Miss. It's Ms. And then on social media, I'm at Ms. Tonya Todd across all platforms.
So they are very easy to find.
Yes.
An amazing young lady. Nothing's going to stop her. She's in the movie industry already. She's an actress. She's a writer. And that's not stopping her from what else she wants to do. And I think you're going to be doing an awful lot. She's a director. She's a producer. She's doing it all. And as she said, you've got to do it, baby steps, but you've got to do it your way, how you want it. And then you can look at it and say, that was my idea a few months ago, and now I've fulfilled it. Isn't that wonderful?
Yes, it is.
Thank you for coming on the show.
Thanks
Absolutely
for having me.
Amazing. So anybody out there, if you feel you can't do it, believe me, you can do it. We'll be right back. Vegas Live with Ninon. Good. Okay, so listen to all the claps. I love when everybody claps like that. But don't forget, I kind of got to finish because my producer said that we got to subscribe, go to YouTube, subscribe, and build us up, because when we get built up, you get successful, then more people get to see you. So don't forget, subscribe.
Yes.
To all your friends, to everybody. She's got no choice but to say yes. We'll be right back. Vegas Live with Ninon.
Last conversation we had, you did all the talking. Listen.
I had nothing to say. This is what my life has been reduced to.
Come on. I told you mine.
I like nervous.
I don't know. What do you think? I'm not used to this life yet.
Your lifestyle changed, you ain't used to be this way. Fake, new friend, every other day shit. And we don't even say shit.
If you enjoyed the last show we just did and all the other shows, don't forget to subscribe. Vegas Live with Ninon on YouTube. We've got plenty more coming up and our guests are amazing. So don't forget to subscribe. We'll be right back. Vegas Live with Ninon.